So at this time, so we'll request Satya Dospati to go ahead and start. And he has about 40 slide presentations and he will go as fast as he can. But pay attention to all the numbers, and I don't know how many of you can count the numbers. I couldn't count it, so we'll see what happens. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Prakash Rauji. So, can you switch on the light? So, the next slide. Okay, we're going to go through a journey now, and if you are following the news, what's going on in India, there is a lot of awakening in India and uproar. The Supreme Court of India taking activist role on uncovering the massive scale of corruption going on. And it has a serious consequences. We are 10,000 miles away and we hope the best for the country. But if the things go the way they are going, we may not see that India what we came out from. So I'll tell you why it is, what is happening in India, how we can possibly help, and hopefully after this presentation we get an idea. Next slide. So I think the best way to summarize what is happening in India is, India now is witnessing not mere corruption, but national plunder. In fact, this came on December 6th on Hindu. Just last week, Supreme Court justices have said that what is happening is not corruption anymore. He said it's a plundering of the country. So it's not just journalists, it's coming from highest forms of organization in India. Next slide. What is how does the corruption, if you want to understand the scale of the corruption, we need to understand how much money is stashed away in Swiss banks. I mean, what do the people do when they do corruption, when the politician takes some money from the contracts, or an industrialist or a bureaucrat takes this money, they want to put it in a safe havens, and almost all the time, there are multiple safe havens around the world, and the Swiss bank is one of them, for most famous one. And India has, according to one estimate, $1,456 billion, $1.4 trillion. India is the top. India is a poor country, but in the stash havens, you see the relationship? And India is at the top, and the next one is Russia is at 470 billion, and so on, UK, Ukraine, and China. Now that is one high level estimate, because nobody knows how much money. But there is a very reputed organization called Global Financial Integrity. This is based in United States, Washington, D.C. They have a lot of credibility in the work they do. And they have estimated, and their report came on BBC, they estimated about $462 billion. This is again a conservative estimate. So the actual number could be anywhere from 500 to 1,500, maybe $1 trillion. That is the kind of money we are talking about. Next slide. So what is India's standing in the corruption level? I mean, so I don't know, how many of you know Transparency International? Okay. Transparency International is a very highly respected international body. They study the corruption levels in every country in the world. And they come up with a very highly, very quoted, often quoted index called Corruption Perception Index. And this index is from scale to 0 to 10. 10 is very highly clean, and 0 is highly corrupt. And India is consistently around 3.2, 3.3. And you know which countries are worse than us? Afghanistan and Pakistan and Bangladesh. This is the kind of countries. In last year, we were in the same league as Rwanda, African country Rwanda. So that is the league we are on. If you look at the best of the countries like Baltic states, New Zealand, they are at 9 point something, and USA is about 7 point something. So just to give you an idea where we are at the corruption level among the world, countries in the world. So this is the next few slides gives you a glimpse. It's a glimpse of what is the level of, what is the scams going on. That's why India is called the Republic of Scams. Next slide. How many of you heard of the 2G spectrum? If you're following India news, you will definitely heard of 2G spectrum. It is estimated that 1.76 lakh crores, $40 billion have been lost to the country's treasury. And this is a great example of what's happening in India. The collusion between the politicians, bureaucrats, industrialists and media with high-powered brokers like Nadia. So, and Indian government, how is Indian government trying to address this massive problem? Their government is refusing to constitute a joint last session, parliament session, I don't know how many days, 2 months, 3 months. The complete session was blocked because the opposition was demanding a joint parliamentary committee to go into details of investigate who are the people, what is the get to the bottom of this scam. And the whole session government said, no, we are not going to do it. Why? Because they are about 200 seats and the opposition is like 350 or something. So they don't want the news to come out who took it and who are in it, because the committee will be proportionate to the number of representatives in the parliament. So they know that they will be, the other parties will be having more numbers and they won't be able to bring it out. So this is this is quoted in after Sonia Gandhi was telling we have zero tolerance for corruption, and there was a this cartoon. Yeah, we have zero tolerance for corruption. We can tolerate many more zeros. That's what it is. You see that thing in the small letters there? We can tolerate many more zeros. So is it a no tolerance or deception? The government refused to join parliamentary committee because of the proportion I was telling you. And according to Dr. Swamy, Sonia Gandhi has taken a big share of the loot deposited under her sister's name. So we don't know, but the point is, people can say anything they want, but the point is, why is it they do not want to hold a joint parliamentary committee to go to the bottom of it? This is the same thing that happened in Buffer's case. Next slide. So, Commonwealth Games fraud. This is just to give you an estimate how much money India spent compared to other countries. In 2002, UK spent 2,100 crores in Indian money to hold this Commonwealth Games. In 2006, Australia spent 5,000 crores. In 2014, again they are going to have it, UK, they are estimating it to be costing 2,200 crores. In India, we spent 60,000 crores. And the original estimate is 600 crores. And some people are telling, well, the other countries already have the infrastructure. How come, India needs some infrastructure development to hold such a game. But just to give you an example, the Jawaharlal Stadium, that was an existing stadium, they refurbished it to bring it to the quality. They spent 900 or some plus crores. Just last year in Pune, they built a bigger stadium, much better one, and they spent 82 crores. So, yes, they put some money on the infrastructure, if they did at all. They probably spent less than 10%. So 90% of this money has actually taken away, and most likely it is in the Swiss banks. So this is just a graph, just to tell you the same thing we just mentioned. A fish, this is a Brahma Chalani article. This man is an intellectual, very good journalist. He's an intellectual guy. He says, India's situation is best explained by an ancient proverb, a fish rots from the head down. When the head is putrid, the body quality cannot be healthy. See, what they're doing is, there's a big furor about corruption. Then they find a second level guy who is a small screen, like Kalmadi and all, but the people above the top are completely protected. That's what he's trying to refer to in this article. And one thing he mentioned is, the political corruption poses an existential threat to the state, because if this thing continues, India as a country will not exist. That's what people are saying. It's a serious issue. It can disintegrate India, and you will see why. Next slide, please. Hassan Ali Khan scam. This is another big scam. This is evading taxes up to 100,000 crores. This guy is a stud farmer from Pune who started as a small-time con man, a bank fraud to Hawala transactions. He was known, if you go to Wikipedia about this man, you will see he has $8 billion and more. Most of the money believed to belong to politicians, industrialists, and Khan as a conduit. This is not all. There is enormous amount of money plowed back into India's stock market. This is legalizing the money. You steal the money and then you plow into stock market into something called participatory notes that bring up the index so they can use it, then they can legitimize the money they have stolen. And this man is richer than the Ajit Premji, the Wipro head. And how is the government responding to this? The finance minister Pranab Mukherjee is changing the tax laws in the country to evade sharing the information about the assets, about the names who are giving and all that. CID investigations confirmed a meeting between Hassan Ali, Vilasarao Deshmukh, ex-CM of Maharashtra, and Ahmad Patel. This man is a trusted secretary of Sonia Gandhi. This is reported on Statesman Hassan Ali of Billions on May 7, 2010. Next slide. Rajiv Gandhi. This is in 1991. This is Schweitzer Illustrated. It's not a small magazine. It has a 1/3 of the country. It's a major circulation in Switzerland. In 1991, they have reported all the heads of the state who have Swiss bank accounts, and one of them is Rajiv Gandhi, the $2 billion account. This is in 1991. And till today, this came up in the parliament. Till today, it was never challenged. When we did, when Sonia Gandhi came in 2007, we protested against her being representing Mahatma Gandhi and in the United Nations, and we took out a full-page New York Times ad, and we exposed all the public news, the news that were there, and they put us $100 million lawsuits on the activists in US. I don't know how many of you heard of the $100 million lawsuits? Yes.
He was the one actually they targeted. Yeah, he was the defendant for that $100 million suit. Yeah.
So there are 70 tax, just to give you an idea, there are 70 tax havens, and most of India's wealth is in Swiss and various British US islands. And now Switzerland is changing the laws to say that if they will be more open to revealing the names. And just 2 weeks ago I saw, and this is going into a lot of this money, billions of dollars are being taken into Dubai, and they are providing better secrecy, and they are saying that money is coming, moved from Swiss banks to the Dubai bank. Next slide. Bofors scam, 1980s, $400 million. Biggest scandal of the time, where major cut was believed to be taken by Rajiv Gandhi and his party with Quattrocchi, close Italian family friend of Sonia Gandhi, brokering the deal. It's not Sonia Gandhi, Quattrocchi is brokering the deal. Quattrocchi negotiated many Indian government deals on behalf of his parent name, Snam Pragati. And how is the government okay? Let's say they are not, government has nothing to do with it, but just see how they are reacting to this. In 2005, Indian government, the additional Solicitor General of India, went to UK. This fellow's money was frozen. The government said there is some problems with this, with the money. We are going to freeze the account, and they have taken up with the UK, I guess, and they froze the account. In 2005, our Solicitor General went to UK and defroze that account and did not even tell our Indian courts. The Supreme Court also did not know about this. In February 2007, Argentina caught this detained Quattrocchi and asked Indian government, you have cases on this thing, Interpol on this person. If you want, you can question him. And what did our people do? They took a forged document, purposely forged document. It's very visible. And the Argentina government said, this is a forged document. You give us a correct, the correct signatures of our secretary or whoever needs to sign. And they never did it, and they had to let him go. Next slide. Then more scams from our politicians. This ex-Jharkhand chief minister, this man, in just 4 years in the mineral state, he had collected 4 billion. This is a new state, I think. Jharkhand state is a new state, right? And he collected $1 billion. And he had 1,800 bank accounts in 4 years in the mineral state. And you will see what is happening to the country because of this. It's not what is, the manifestations of this is the one that is serious to the country's existence. Then the next one, Mayawati, everybody knows that Taj Corridor, she had taken up $44 million in 2002. And the Jain Hawala scandal, $18 million. And our Advani, Devilal, Yadav and more, they were all listed in that thing. Next slide.